Hello and welcome to Yellyswonders Knitting Podcast. My name is Daniela and I'm a knitter based in Yorkshire in United Kingdom. And this is my space on the internet where I share my knitting journey. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I hope you will enjoy this. And yeah, I've got a few patterns released as well, so it's a bit of a mix of knitting, designing journey. Hope you can find this interesting. I'm having a nice tea, not an iced tea, just a lovely, nice, warm tea on this chilly day. It is one of the teas called Red Velvet from a blend and tea bird subscription boxes that I was completely tea-fluenced by This Nanny Knits, Lucy from This Nanny Knits. And yeah, it's lovely. This one's very nice and mellow. I like it that way. Yeah, let's start this chat with what I'm wearing. This is my now finished Stockholm sweater pattern by Petite Knit. I've talked about it quite a lot in the previous episodes, so I won't be going into details, but I've been wearing it loads and loads. It is knitted in the fuzzy yarn from We Are Knitters. I don't have any labels or yarn with me here, so you will have to just, if you want, you can just check previous episode, and there's everything in the description below, and also everything I will be talking about today is also in the box description under this video. So you just have to click a little tick and it should open up with all the box with all the informations. And the color of the yarn is natural, and it's mostly alpaca blend with Donegal, which are all the specks on this yarn. And it is, well, I did wear it quite a lot, so maybe that's the reason, but I kind of didn't expect it to peel that much, because when the yarn is fluffy, usually you don't see it that much, but the halo got much bigger on this than usually on like a mohair type sweater, but I don't really mind. It's still lovely and warm. I only have a little tank top underneath and it's really keeping me nice and warm. But yeah, as you can see, it got a bit peeling here, but hopefully once I will clean that up, it won't be as bad anymore, if you know what I mean. So that's my first finished object. Or maybe I did, or maybe no. Or maybe I did finish it before in a previous episode, I can't remember. I think going forward, I did want to try record just after we came back from New Year's trip, but I got back to work and life got really busy again, and Saturdays are the only days at the moment realistically I can record in a daylight, and I don't really have any external lights except the standard lights in the kitchen, but they are kitchen or whenever they're big lights, but they're not really great. And another thing I remembered I never talk about is how accurate color shows on the screen, and that's because I'm recording with a back camera of my phone, so I can't see what I'm showing you. So I don't know if I mentioned that before. I do have a camera, but that also doesn't have a flipped screen, and it is quite, so the quality would be so much better, but it would take much longer to upload. I think I will eventually try that, but that's why I can't really comment on how colors shows well on the screen. Ideally, I would want to maybe in the future swap that other camera with one with the flicked screen, so I can see what I'm talking about. But that's just a long distance goal. If I will be continuing those podcasts, which I think I will, because I'm really enjoying this, and I hope you do too. It's nice to have a chat with someone who also enjoys knitting so much. Big tangent there. Sorry, you probably don't have to know all that, but I do want to improve. Sometimes it's just not, financially possible straight away. But one of my finished objects is Ernabini, and if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know that I tested this pattern for Simona from Rust Knitwear, and this is mine that I was testing, and this one I made for my husband during Christmas break, because the one that I made for him last year, just simple hat, it didn't look any good anymore, and it went all floppy and loose. I threaded him elastic, but now he's got two hats, so he can swap around, but he chooses to wear this one more often, which is a good sign. And I knitted this one. It's lovely fabric. I knitted this one in Sunday, by Sunday Petit Knit by Sanders Garn, and this is a fingering weight yarn, non-superwash yarn, in color Croissant 2345. Is that it? I hope you can see. And yeah, like I said, he wears it a lot. I held it double. I ordered freeze balls, and I played a bit of a yarn chicken with it. I had a little tiny amount left, like 5 grams or something. So it is really, really nice. It's a folded brim. I didn't sew down this one yet because it was drying, and then I didn't have time, but I need to sew it up so it doesn't unfold so easily, and it keeps the proportion. So you can see you fold it once, and then you fold it twice, and it creates this really nice hat that's just left to sew down the brim, like I said. And it's in this gorgeous broken rib texture. This yarn is lovely. It's 100% merino, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 100% merino wool, and it's non-superwash. And it's really drapey, lovely and drapey yarn. So I just need to tell him not to shove it in a washing machine because it will shrink and felt. So we're matchy-matchy. We both have the same hat. I talked about mine, I think, before, so I'm not gonna talk about it again. But I basically held Highland Peruvian wool from Hobby with Isair silk mohair, and I've got a halo, and I just thought he probably wouldn't enjoy the halo, so I just ordered this yarn from knit.co.uk and it arrived very quickly, like always. So yeah, it's probably like my bit late Christmas present for him, but he doesn't mind, I hope. So that's the one thing. The other thing are another socks. I forgot to bring the sock blocker, I'm sorry. But those are Midsummer Dance socks by Sari Nordlund. Very nice pattern. I stormed through them. I think I did them in a week. I did one in like 2 or 3 days, and then I immediately casted on the second one, and I don't know, I really enjoyed this pattern. It's like a chicken leg pattern. Reminds me of chicken leg stumps of like in a lace. I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can see. It's knitted with this gorgeous frill that looks lovely in my boots when I wear it. I didn't wear them yet, I was a good girl and I wanted to show you first before I wear them. So that's Midsummer Dance socks, and the yarn is Arvetta Classic. This one, color, it's not, the band is not from this wool, it's from a different one. Color is described as taupe. I don't remember the number, but it's something like 945, something like that. Don't hold me to that, but I will put information down below if you're interested. So yeah, this is nice, very addictive pattern, very easy lace, love it, can't wait to wear it. And another finished object is it's where's the front, where's the back, like that. It's Folly Dolly Neck collar thingy. I never know how to call it, so I just call it a thingy, knowing that everyone knows what I mean. I didn't finish weaving all the ends, but it pretty much worked like I wanted it to. I don't really, I think you can see that that's my own pattern that I've came up with, and I will probably write it down, but not this year, probably for next winter now at this stage, because as you'll see, I moved now towards the summer knits. I know it's like middle of January, but it takes forever to knit, write, test, tech edit, pattern, to have it ready, for example, before June. So I really need to start knitting that now if I want to have it ready for you for summer. So yeah, I don't know, I think you can see that I did something weird in here, and as this line goes really nice and straight, and then it just goes, I think, to the side here, or yeah, I think it goes outside on both sides. So I will probably need the second sample next year, next winter, and we'll let you know how that goes. It's, I don't know, I've got a nice high neck that can keep you warm. I've got a really short neck, So anything that's like rolled, it's just like covers it all immediately. So I don't really need a lot, but and others might do. But it's brilliant because you can wear something quite lightweight, and if it's really cold outside, you just throw this on and then you just, you know, just wear it, and you don't have all the bulk of the big sleeves, and I don't know, it's quite nice, and it just keeps you nice and warm and cozy. So that's that. And I knitted this in exactly the same yarn as my Folly Dolly jumper that is coming to the test is coming to an end soon, and I need to sit down, go to the feedback and see, do all the changes and hopefully release pattern early in February. That's 2 weeks time. Geez, that's scary. I'm gonna have to see if that's possible. If not, well, I'll see. But would you be guys interested in Cal for my Folly Dolly jumper? Because that was the idea I had the other day, and if people would, I don't know if people are still will be in February still interested in knitting like a big jumpers, well, not big jumpers, but jumpers in general. I don't know, or is everyone gonna move towards the spring summer knits then? So let me know. If not, maybe we could do one in autumn next year. What I'm talking on, what I'm on about this year. It's 2022 now. So yeah, this is knitted in the same yarn as my Folly Dolly jumper that's coming out hopefully soon. And the yarn was very kindly gifted to me by Hobby. It's Hobby Divine, depends how would you read it. And it's a blown yarn, tri-knit type construction yarn, which means that it's very soft and airy and fluffy. And it's 65% alpaca, 25% polyamide and 10% wool. It's 50 grams, 150 meters. And there was something the color was color 8, and I think it was taupe. So yeah, that's the label. If you want to know more about this yarn, also I talk about it quite extensively in one of my previous episodes. Yeah, so that's something that will now be shelved and waiting for, waiting to write the pattern. I think I have it halfway done, but I want to tweak a few things, so I'm gonna have to knit another sample and then knit the pattern later this year. Knowing me, if I want to have it ready for winter, I will have to start in summertime. So that's another thing, and that's all for my finished objects. So I thought I've knitted so much during Christmas period because I had almost 2 weeks of work from Christmas Eve to New Year's day after New Year's Day, I think. So I came back to work 4th of January, that was Tuesday. And I felt I've knitted so much, and now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking I have nothing to talk about. Well, if you know what I mean. It's quite a lot, but I feel like I've talked pretty much about all those things before, quite a lot, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. So yeah, nice tea. And now we're gonna move on to my works in progress, which some of them are repetitive from the other previous episode. So let's for example look at this. This is my Osta sweater by Sophie from the Knit Pearl Girl. You can find the pattern on her website or Ravelry if you're interested. And again, I talked about it a lot in previous episodes, so I don't want to honestly, like I said, repeat myself, because well, you can just go to the other one. But I love knitting on this pattern. I'm knitting it in the petite wool from We Are Knitters in color natural, and I just love it. I probably could knit it up, sit down for 2 nights and finish the sleeves or something. Well, maybe not, but you know, could have it ready in a few days. But I'm just pacing myself down. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm not rushing to finishing it. That's why you see it without any sleeves this time, because I could easily just storm through, do it all, and wear it. And I'm just enjoying knitting it, so I don't want to do it too quickly, if you know what I mean. If you have, let me know which pattern was like that for you, that you love knitting with it, but it was knitting up so fast and you didn't want to finish it that fast. So that's me slowing myself down, first time in the world. So that's about it. I love it. Sophie's brilliant. Go and follow her if you're not already, and hopefully next time I can show it to you finished and maybe even wear it. Brilliant. Nothing else to say about this. Oh, sorry, I've got a big bag with all the labels and everything on my side. Another one, let's talk about this. Another jumper. I'm storming through this today, am I? Am I rushing it or what? I'm just thinking that maybe after this I can, if I do it quickly and I still have enough daylight, maybe I could do a 2021 roundup, what I've knitted. But I want to talk about something in a minute, so I will ooh, hot mess. I will let you know talk about it in a minute. So this is my another improvised raglan jumper, raglan cable jumper that I'm loving working on this. This is, I know this is not a lot, because I started knitting on that and then we were away and I wanted to take some pictures, but I didn't have any background or good lighting or anything, so I just focused on other things. But I hope to go back to knitting this one up soon. So I hope to come back to knitting this one up soon. And yeah, it's just the most simple 2x2 cables, left and right, and you know, folded twisted rib collar. I put an elastic inside while I was sewing it down, and it's just, you know, it's so enjoyable. And those simple cables are brilliant because you don't really even, not that experienced, but with cables. So this is really lovely just to like, you know, get used to how is left, how is right, and learn all that. And because when I always watch Andrea from Fruity Knitting, she's doing some really intricate cables and designs, or Inga from Knitting Traditions. They are just amazing knitters, but it's my cable start, and someone suggested that this could be Tommy Towel sweater, like a sister sweater to my Tommy Towel mittens. If you haven't seen those. So yeah, I'm just like loving the working with the cables, and it's really nice and simple, and it's a raglan construction, so you increase here and on the back in the same place. Just trying to crack what's the best way. I'm not gonna rip all that, but I think after this I'm gonna change a bit how the stitches are distributed, so it will probably be half one way, half the other, but hopefully it will be nice. And I don't know, let me know if anyone would be interested in the pattern, because there is a few ones that are cabled like that, and I don't know, it's difficult with knitting patterns because there's so many similar ones, and I don't want to be accused of copying anyone, but at the same time you can reinvent a wheel. You can, like, what's that saying? I'm not inventing a wheel or reinventing it, you're just like reusing it in a different way, maybe different yarn weight, different proportions and things like that. So let me know. And because I didn't find exactly the pattern that I wanted for this jumper, I've just decided to do a little maths and try to work it out and see how that works. So that's that, and that is knitted with Knitting for Olive, held with mohair by the Fiber Fox, one of my favorite dyers, and then it's absolutely amazing. It's like I said before, I talked about this. The other previous episode is quite long and extensively I'm talking about all those different yarns. This is nice and soft yarn, but it doesn't have that softness to it. It's not scratchy, but it's not like buttery soft, like I said. It's like not like you think of, oh, it's soft like a cloud or something. It doesn't have that. It's soft, it's not itchy because it's merino, but it doesn't have the silkiness to it, and that's just beautiful. Beautiful silk mohair from the Fiber Fox, like I said. The base is called Fluff, and it's 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. Yeah. So I hope I will have enough yarn. I'm still working on my first. I've got 4 of these in total, so 3 and that, and 3 of those. So totally I have like about 1,200 meters or something ish. So hopefully that will be enough to make this sweater. And like, I don't really want it to be hugely oversized, because knitwear grows anyway, no matter what you make it with. At least in my experience, every yarn that I used grew a little bit. Mohair stops it from growing, but you still, we wear it, wash it, use it, and at least I do. I'm not precious with my stuff. I just make it to wear it. That's the whole point for me. I just want to make what I want to wear, so that's that. It's gonna be very nice, pink. You can't go wrong with the pink, can you? So yeah, let me know if you would be interested in the pattern, if anyone would be interested. I can definitely think about doing that for next year, if I can finish it by then. And then we've got 2 more things. So let's talk about this first. Again, I didn't bring the sock blocker, so I can't. I don't know if you can see, but my dog is just here on a chair, and I don't want to get up so I don't wake her up. Because when she's calm, you want her to be that way. You don't want to wake a monster up. So I'm working on another thing is Eileen socks, and it's this lovely Eileen socks, and this is the lovely pattern by Larry Knits, a lady called Larissa. She's on Instagram, and I think the pattern is also available on Ravelry. And I finished the first one. I changed how I was doing the increases here. I don't know if you can see, but the increases in a pattern, they are written to do like those few up here, but I changed my decreases to do central double decrease. I just thought it makes the pattern a bit more stand out and more clear and crisp, which I preferred in this case, and I found it less fiddly as well. So I started those. I'm using my Magic Chaugos 2.25, and I started doing 2 at a time. So I've knitted them both up to this point on the needles, and then I put one on this, took one off, and then finished the first one because it was annoying me. It was annoying me, and I felt like it's slowing me down massively. Changing the strand of yarn every half of the sock, it was just crazy annoying to me. In general, it's a great idea that you worked both at a time and you didn't have to worry about second sock syndrome, but I think I would have 2 sock syndromes because I just wouldn't finish it because it would be just laying around, and I needed the needle anyway. So I've put one to rest, and I just finished this one sock first. Another thing I did, I don't think I will be big fan of 2 at a time. Maybe it's also because this is 80 centimeter needles, and they advise to do 2 at a time on 100 centimeter long needle, but I didn't want to buy more. We were away, everything was closed anyway, so I just wanted to give it a go because, you know, I like trying new things, experimenting, but I didn't enjoy this technique. So I transitioned last year from knitting socks on double pointed needles to shorties like that, and then now to magic loop, and I just wanted to try, but it didn't work for me. It just didn't. Another thing is that I did a different heel. I did a fish lips heel, my words. So it looks a bit funky. Lady who designed this method says that it's called fish lips heel, fish lips, because when you do this, apparently looks the same. I don't know, maybe some things, there is something in it. But yeah, I started, before this I started the other sock that I will show you in a minute. But I just wanted to try a fit for myself, if I like the fit, if it's any good. And to be honest, it's a fuss-free heel construction. You don't have to, like, you don't have a gusset, picking up stitches, nothing like that. And it does actually fit very nicely on a foot. I'm no one for really doing, what are they called? Some like cutaways and putting them in. I just don't have steam for that. So I probably won't be showing you, but hopefully I can take some pictures and yeah, and you can have a look or try for yourself. It's really nice, easy, very easy to remember. So this is so I know now how to do this one, Morse Hell by Knitting Traditions. Just a German short row heel I tried, and flap and gusset, which is also fine, but you know, just for different things maybe. So hopefully I can finish them quite soon and wear. And I realized that I knitted quite a lot of socks last year, and this year one of my quests is to knit even more socks, because I would also want to try knitting non-nylon socks. And Mari Hoffman is doing a knit-along. I think it's an all year long knit-along for non-nylon natural yarn socks. So I would love to try those. So let me know as well if you have any good yarns to recommend. I know about Mondim. I know about Tuku wool, but I don't know where to buy that. I don't think it's available in the UK. I think it's Tribe Yarns or Tangled Yarns. They have one of Tuku wool yarns, but they are not a sock yarns. I had a few others on my list that I would love to try. So yeah, hopefully that will be good, and I can knit more socks, because I love wearing. Oh, sorry, I kicked this tripod. I love wearing wool socks, so that will be brilliant. And they are really good and portable to wear, knit around, take it with you everywhere you can. So I promised my brother that I will knit him some socks and his fiance this year, because I was promising him for a while now. So hopefully now I can deliver. Yeah. So yeah, those will be like probably normal superwash yarns, because you know, if you're not used to, you might not know how to care for them or whatever. Or even though myself, I've felted quite a few socks. But anyway, that's that. Let me know if you know any non-nylon good sock yarns, sock bases that I could try. And my last whip is another sock that I'm knitting for my mother-in-law. And I was knitting that, and she knows about this, and I got her foot, cardboard foot on the egg box from Morrison's, and it's how to do this. It's also described on fish lip scale instructions. I'm sorry, I don't know how the lady's called, but it's on Ravelry. If you type it in, it will be the first thing that comes up. So we were away in the cabin. We went with my in-laws and my husband. It was lovely. And I started knitting this sock then, and I made her a foot shape thingy. So she knows about it. And when I finished this one, she like took it away and didn't want to give it back, like worrying that I wouldn't give it to her if I made the second one, and you know, if she had one, then I had to give her the second. I was like, no, I need this to make it exactly the same. So yeah, that was quite funny. So for this, I'm using let's first say I didn't use any pattern on anything. I just cast on 64 stitches because I just thought that might be the sock. Over time they stretch anyway a little bit, and I didn't want to be very floppy. She tried it on and it fits fine. So I just cast on, I think, 64 stitches. I did 2x2 rib, and then I did first time helical knitting for 2 colors. So this is like a magic technique for me, and I think I will be using it so much more now. But it basically creates, there is no rib, like there is no place that the yarn joins together, and it's more difficult to explain than it actually is. So that's the wrong side, and you can see there is nowhere that join when you need the like a ridge and shifty edge when you knit one color work and the colors meet and you change the color there, and there's always like a shift in the colors, and you don't get that here. So it's very seamless and lovely. Great technique. I want loads more. I love those socks, but I promised her those, so like she was probably right to take it away, but no, she will get those. But I've got quite a few leftovers. I will have some leftover from this socks and from those other ones that I showed you, so I might just mix it and do ones like that for myself. And for this I'm using again Filcolana Arvetta, mostly because I ordered it at the same time as I ordered yarn for my husband's hat, Chris's hat, from knit.co.uk, and this is just a color, I think it's called something like white, natural, or something like that, and it's color 101. Just, you know, a nice classic white, and I just thought it will go really nice with all those crazy colors on Zauberball Crazy. Very accurate name, isn't it? So I've knitted myself a socks just with this yarn, and then I had the idea with leftovers that I could match it with the other ones and just do exactly this, and I think it's so beautiful. So yeah, the color for this is called Mahler Winkle, and it's superwash yarn. Yeah, just, you know, I talked about it before as well, because when I showed you the other socks. So it's virgin wool 75 and 25 nylon, and it says it's biodegradable nylon, whatever that means. I don't know, but that's that. So yeah, and I need to cast on the second one when I finish, because I only have one of those needles on 225, so I need to finish this one or put this one to rest, and then whatever, cast on the other one and finish that and give it to her. She was waiting for some socks for a while now. I didn't know, because I mentioned to her once when I said I might make her some socks a while ago, but I didn't know she's waiting for them that much. But it's nice, isn't it, when you knit for someone and you know they will like it and wear it, and yeah, it's nice to have a knit-worthy people, because it's not bad. It's 46 minutes. I've got one quick project to show you. So you know that I have started the Folly Dolly series in a way, with the Folly Dolly top. It wasn't called like that then, but it will be called like that now, because it's based on the same stitch and construction as the Folly Dolly jumper. And I started getting ready to write the pattern again, and to write a pattern again, to write a pattern. That's it. But I need to knit it again, because I used a really weird combination of yarns, and I just want to make it more standardized and make sure it works. So I will be knitting that, and I thought I will knit that in We Are Knitters bamboo. We Are Knitters bamboo, but I started knitting something else with it. But that's okay, because I think there will be a nice collab for the other top, so it will be nice if it works. Fingers crossed. So I with this yarn, I just started knitting a simple top, and you maybe, I don't know, saw my reel when I cast it on like almost hundreds of stitches. And then with was it a Judy's Magic Cast On, and it's truly magical method, but I'm not really, it doesn't really, well, it works, but with designing anything, it's nothing innovative. It's just the most simple yoke summer top. I just don't really, sorry, like later on when you have the other, because you cast on the stitches and you can knit in one direction and with the other direction. So I started knitting this with one direction, and then I tried a few times to make a I-cord edge, but I don't think I like how it looks. I know it looks ridiculous over the jumper, but I'm not gonna take it off to show you. So I didn't want to rip it just yet. So I casted it on again, and this time I just did the simplest 1 by 1 rib on the smaller needles, and it's like, I love how drapey is this fabric. So like I said, it's bamboo in color white or natural, and it's 100% bamboo viscose, 350 meters per 100 grams. So I have 2 balls of this, which is 700 meters, so hopefully that will be enough to make a top. But like you see, I'm just working, and I like much more how it looks, just a simple rib like that. And I think I cracked the maths now as well, hopefully. To be honest, I'm good. Yeah, oops, I'm losing stitches. So yeah, can't wait to have it finished. Hopefully it will be nice and simple pattern to write. If anyone's interested, I don't know, Yeah, just, and it's because it's a fingering weight yarn, it's very fine. First it takes used to knitting with bamboo because it's very slippery on the needles, and before I only have the Knit Pro Basics because I was knitting quite extensively in lockdown, but I was on furlough, so I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't really get, not that I have loads of money now, but you know, I mean, when you're on furlough, it was quite tight, and we were saving up as well. So I just had Knit Pro Basics, and with those, they didn't have the sharp tip sharp enough, so I couldn't, like, it wasn't really like easy to knit with it because I tried making some samples and it wasn't brilliant. But now I just, sorry, having a drink. But now it's easier because other than my hats, Chris's hats yarn and the yarn for my mother-in-law's socks, and I didn't really buy anything, so I don't have any acquisitions other than with some Christmas money and from few pattern sales for my Tommy towel mittens, I got myself a Chowgu set, and yeah, that's my only acquisition. So I'm knitting that top on the new Chowgus, and that is pure pleasure. And even though they are knitted on, this is 2.75, and it creates really nice fabric, and I'm really loving it. I don't know, I'm feeling quite addictive there, knitting on a small needle. I've been knitting so much on small needles that I feel like knitting with thick yarn hurts my hands a bit. I was much slower to knit this than to knit this, even though you don't see that much progress. But I casted this on last weekend, so I got this and this knitted just this week, and this week I've knitted a lot on this sock, finished this sock, and whatever else. No, that's probably that. But you know, I'm just enjoying this. I think I will see how this goes and then rip this back especially if I need more yarn. Ta-da, so acquisitions, like I said, excuse me. So yeah, I just bought Chowgu set. It's a complete set, so it comes complete set comes with a small and large. Small is from 2.75 up to 5 millimeters, and large comes with from 5.5 to 10 millimeters. And cables, those ones are all out. Those are small cables, and large cables, because small have a small connector and large have a large connector, which is yeah, somehow better, but that means you can't really use there is a connector from small to large. It also comes with, oops, I need to pick this up before Daisy gets it. Oops, again kicked it, sorry. Comes with like those little ends, but to be honest, I don't know if they are a necessity. There are some, these are large ones, the black ones here, they are large ones, and that is for a larger set. And then there are tiny connectors here, I don't know if you can see, sorry if it crinkles. And there is a large one, small and large, and that's just basically to make your cable longer if you need it to, which is fine. It comes with a ruler, which you really don't need in this case because all needles have engraved size on them, and that won't come off. It's not printed, it's actually engraved, but it's so fine that you can't feel it under your finger. And I wouldn't even think about that. Some can you can find the fake needles, chaogus, but apparently you do, and that's the one way to find out if they're real or not, that if the engravement is, you can feel it under your finger, or if it's completely not, you can't, you know. And some stitch markers that I didn't even open yet. They look quite thick to me, so I have a problem with thick stitch markers because they leave a hole, like a ladder in my work when they are thick. Annoying, but that's what it is. So I have I'm pleased I bought a set, but I think mostly because I bought it because a case. But now I'm thinking about this. It's not that much cheaper to buy everything individually, except that you kind of get a case for free, I think. I thought there is few cables here, one of each length. So there is one cable, 35 centimeters, 55 and 75 centimeters in small and in large. I think you can buy like connector from small to large or from large to small, I can't remember. But so you can like use the cables to other needles. But to be honest, I wouldn't need any of this or this. So if I would just decide, just buy a case and then buy needles as I go, that probably would be better for me, because there might be some sizes that I'm not gonna use. I think going forward, I'm not really gonna need on large needles like 9 or 10 millimeters. One thing about those is that they are, I got one needle from Knit Pro that's aluminium or metal, and they are like the glossy metal, and I think they are coated in nickel, so I think those are nickel free. So if you're allergic to nickel, you could probably use them fine. Check that before you decide on that. But so they are not as smooth and slippery as those nickel coated needles, but I quite like it better because they are slippery enough for me at this stage to be enough. I don't need anything more at the moment. I was getting quite fed up with wooden needles because they are quite grippy. Those are basics, and you know, they're fine, perfectly good needle, but also because I wanted the metal ones, because when I was working this collar I snapped one needle, so that's that. It might be cheaper to buy it in the first place, but then in a long run, when you have to replace, and it's not like you can buy just one needle, you have to buy a set, so then you have 3 needles. Well, you can always snap one more then, but then what's the point really, right? So yeah, there will be probably some sizes that I'm not gonna use now, but there is no 3 millimeters here, which I thought will be a big problem, but actually I'm working those, using those 275, and that's just enough. Yeah. So yeah, they've been used last week a lot, and I've been playing around. And if you're thinking about getting some for yourself, just think if you really need all the sizes, and maybe it's more worth just to buy sizes as you go. I just really wanted the case because I've got the other needles in like a big pouch. I don't think they are in here. They're upstairs, but they're just coming out and falling, and you don't want to lose needles that expensive, so that's why I wanted a set mostly. Yeah, and I got one. Next time when I get some money coming in, I had some feedback about the voice, no my voice, but the sound quality. So next thing, if there will be some money coming in from patterns or whatever, I probably will buy like a microphone. I know that's not that expensive as this, but you know, you have to balance everything out. So yeah, that's it for today. I think going forward, I probably not gonna be able to record more often than I was. I don't know how some people do that every week or every 2 weeks, but working full time is just not possible, especially in winter when I'm coming back home. Well, that was my last week working from home now. Actually, I will be going back to the office Monday, so I will be back at home at 5, half 5, or even 6 o'clock sometimes, and it's just dark. And like I said, I don't want to compromise the quality for quantity, because yeah, I'm not, yeah, that's it. Not about quantity, you know. If it's slow growth, it's slow. As long as like one person enjoys watching it, I'm so glad, I'm so pleased, and thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you had a good start to a year, and I hope it will be much better for you than last year. Even if it was good or even if it was bad, I hope it will always be better than it was yesterday. So fingers crossed for that. Oh, and one thing that I didn't talk about, resolutions really. That's not kind of like a resolution, but first few months of last year I was really good at writing down everything, making like a knitting journal thingy, and I would like to come back to that, because I don't even remember when I started some projects or whatever, so I've just like used a simple notebook for this time. I still had some stickers with like for a calendar, so I think this one just ends on July actually, so I just put a sticker on, wrote a month, and here I'm gonna write down some notes if there is something that comes to my mind, but I don't want to spend a full page on writing it, or it's not my design, so I can, like, you know, just quick notes, like here got some Eileen socks. Oh no, that's actually Folly Dolly Neck. Yeah, here Eileen socks. And then on the thing, I would just have where I started or finished whichever project, and hopefully there will just, yeah, I will be better with that. And I've got some like ideas what I want to do. There's no, it's just a simple notebook, and it's just got like 60 pages or some 30 pages, so I don't even have the space to describe all my project or whatever. But I've got like a to-do list here. It's not complete, it's just a few things that are the priority and some pattern ideas. Quick sneak peek, my dodgy sketches and everything. So yeah, some patterns I have, but things I love to make and or learn or whatever. So hopefully I will be much better at that. First 2 weeks were quite successful. That's why I can tell you that I started this top last Saturday. This bamboo top. It doesn't have a name yet in my, well, although it does, but I'm not gonna tell you yet. I'm gonna even see if I will make a pattern of it, because why not? Let's see, keep it a secret, mine and yours. Between me and you. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm just rambling now, am I? But hopefully you enjoyed it. You found it somehow useful. Let me know what you're knitting on, because it's always nice to discover some inspirations as well. So stay well. Happy 2022, and see you soon. Bye. Hi there, it's Editing Anela here. I thought I will insert a few snapshots from our holidays in Wales. I didn't quite have time to look into how to insert the music, so I thought I might chat. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, because that would be a huge help to support what I'm doing, support my designing. The more people know about it, the better. Keeps the momentum going, and I know that you enjoy it and there is a purpose in it. So please subscribe and share if you can. This is a Malam Cove that we went to, and apparently it was very busy that day, because as you can see the weather was lovely, but it was one of the spots that they recorded Harry Potter. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, and I found out about this after the fact, after we've been there. So, but I love the good view. And this is up the Ingleborough, one of the 3 peaks in Wales. And it was, as you can see, for the contrast, it was very, very cloudy, no views at all. It was last of the peaks that I didn't do before, and yeah, just beautiful scenery. I absolutely loved it. Just stunning, and some sheep, of course. Bye.